Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Love for Intuitive Astrology. My name is Michelle and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So today I will talk about the upcoming full moon in the sign of Aquarius, which will happen on the 19th of August 2024 at 27 degrees and 15 minutes, okay? And I will start with the general description and the aspects of this full moon, and then we're going to dive into the different signs, and you can check this for your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, okay? And this combination is the most accurate. Just keep in mind that this is a general reading. If you would like to book a reading with me for your birth chart or for the transit or a year reading, just check out my website or send me an email that you find in the description box below, and you will have a more detailed reading. But I'm gonna be as accurate as possible for everyone, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, this full moon is a little bit, again, expect the unexpected, okay? And you can kind of feel it already, okay? There's a lot of restlessness, there's a lot of protest, and a lot of unexpected situations that are happening right now. And this is kind of what Pluto in Aquarius is doing, first of all. And this is not the main player during this full moon, but we do have this full moon in Aquarius, right? So we have Pluto in Aquarius, we have this full moon in Aquarius, and above all, this full moon is in a square with Uranus, which rules Aquarius, okay? So there's a lot of instability, right? Because when we have Taurus, which is the sign of stability, it's the sign of materials, it's the sign of Earth, Mother Gaia, and when we have Uranus there, it makes it a little bit shaky. And this could literally mean earthquakes, which we have seen in the past few years, okay? But this could also mean that people are trying to find their stability in their lives, but it's a bit shaky, okay? It's a little bit ups and downs. And like one day, maybe you're feeling good, and the next day you're not sure what's your grounding, you're not sure how you're feeling, right? And this can result in a bit of restlessness. And then we have Chiron in Aries, which is kind of telling you like, hey, who are you? And you're working on your authenticity, on yourself, basically, on who you are. So many people are pulling down layers of themselves at the moment and trying to figure out who they are, right? And then we also have the North Node in Aries. So this is doubling up everything, right? We want to stand in our own power. We want to stand in our own leadership. But do we do this in a healthy way? And then we get the extremes, right? Where people are maybe a little bit overly into their authenticity, like trying to not only become authentic themselves, but trying for other people to take the same road. And this is where we should take the Aquarian route. Everyone is equal. Everyone is the same. We are all a soul in a body, and we're choosing an experience. And when we remove all the layers, the belief systems, everything we have, we are all here looking to become happy, looking for happiness, okay? And I believe that astrology is such a beautiful tool to get to know yourself, right? To get to know your blueprint. And that's why I'm so passionate about astrology and finding your own truth, right? Because ultimately, like, of course, I can tell you the degrees and I can tell you the squares and the sextiles, but this is just a way to get to know yourself, right? And there's one way is to understand astrology, but the next stage is to apply it to your life, because ultimately you want to grow spiritually, no matter what that means for you, right? We all have a different blueprint, so we all have different roads to take. We have the lower route and we have the higher route. And I want to plug you into your higher purpose, right? Into something that is really suiting to you and it makes your heart sing. And sometimes that is something that is against what other people think for you, or what other people believe, or other people want for you. And this is the beauty, that if we can let each other be and explore this side of ourselves, right? And when we are from our highest purpose, we cannot thrive on the lower vibrations. So we will not choose a route that is hurting others, right? So if we raise our vibration, at least we do the best we can, right? We cannot be perfect all the time. And this is also something that I want to promote, because I moved here in this beautiful area, this beautiful place, and I'm going to start a retreat center. And, you know, from the outside, it looks like my life is perfect. And maybe it is. But I also want to say that with that, there comes responsibility sometimes, right? We had a lot of obstacles lately with getting the internet. I mean, it's Mercury retrograde. So it took a really long time to get all the papers ready and to get everything done. And really, me as an astrologer, I'm choosing Mercury retrograde, the month of Mercury retrograde in my own sign to arrange stuff. This is really... But yeah, it's fine. This is what the universe wants me to learn. Maybe to be patient, maybe to work on my communication, right? And well, it started off in Virgo. We already now, during this full moon, Mercury will be in the sign of Leo, okay? So like I said, be patient with yourself this month. And also there could be some miscommunications with people, okay? And not only is this square with Uranus with this full moon, which we have, you know, Leo is the sign of self-expression. And then Aquarius is the sign of community. So there's a little bit of a, I want to be heard, I want to be seen, versus we are a group. And this is where we have to define what is right and what is wrong. Is there really a right and wrong? Because ultimately we are trying to do our best. And I think if we're going against each other, we're just gonna hurt each other more, right? Instead of letting people figure the things out for themselves. And also making up your own mind about certain situations, right? Because this is what has been happening for a long time. Like one person is saying something, like for example, about astrology. I always tell my clients to do your own research first. And also, no matter what you hear, take your own discernment, right? And this is also what Mercury retrograde does. It makes you internalize certain words. It makes you internalize certain situations, right? And it could also make you a bit shy about self-expression, because Leo is about self-expression. So maybe you're saying something, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, okay? Because Uranus makes you say things unexpectedly, and when it's retrograde, it's maybe not always coming out the way you want it to come out. So just be aware, but also be very kind to yourself, that you cannot do everything perfectly, and you know, do the best you can and try to look at yourself. I don't know why, but this message comes through so strongly. Like, try to look at yourself first, how you can make your life the best you can, because sometimes you look at others and obviously people are not going to post all the bad stuff that they're going through. So then we can feel miserable, you know, or we think that a certain group or certain, you know, people are not right or not good, but you know, do we really know that person? And this is where we have a little bit of lack of water right now, right? We have Saturn in the water sign and we have Neptune, but we have a lot of fire, we have a lot of air. We also have Jupiter and Mars together. And this is on the good place. This is expanding communication, this is improving communication, but also because Gemini is so up in the mind, it's all about the intellect, it's the mind. Jupiter can also expand your thoughts, create a bit of overthinking, and with Mars it could also be a bit argumentative, right? Going into arguments. So in the right way, you can bring a beautiful message forward, a very strong, powerful message. But be aware, it is Mercury retrograde, so think about what you're saying, what you're standing for, your beliefs. And this all has to do with Pluto in Aquarius, okay? What do you stand for? Because when we are a collective and we're all representing against something, this is creating another energy. Together, you're creating a collective of anger, right? And this is not good for Mother Gaia either, right? Sometimes you cannot do nothing, but also you have to find the right fine, how do you say that, the fine line within yourself, right? You have to decide for yourself, where is that fine line, where you're gonna stop fighting, you know, when are you gonna stop and just let things be, because sometimes things are out of our control as well, and we have to trust, and we have to internally change our vibrations. Okay, I know this is a bit of a spiritual talk, but I think this is so necessary as well. That's why I chose to be an intuitive astrologer, because it aligns with each other, okay? The energies in the sky and the collective energies, they align with the astrology, and there are several layers you can take, right? There are several roads you can take, and the most happiest, the best way to move forward is the highest road. And even myself, I've been through a bit of a negative spiral, because things weren't working out, things weren't going well, and I was like grumpy, and it didn't feel right. And then I said to myself, come on, you have to change your energies. This is what you're teaching. This is what you have to do yourself, right? So it's not about you cannot be on this all the time. You just have to remind yourself. Sometimes we're falling, and we have to remind ourselves to change. We have the power to change our energy and to change the situation around us, because this is how people change with you, okay? And I want to bring this message first, especially around this full moon, because it's going to be a little bit restless, okay? Even Venus in Virgo, right? Venus is not the best in Virgo, but also it is very dutiful. It does want to do the right thing. And Venus is in opposition with Saturn retrograde. We have quite some retrograde. So there is a lot of karma that right now is internally being solved. So look at the wounds that are coming up regarding money, regarding love around this time, because Saturn is creating a certain situation for you to resolve. So just be aware and have a look at what is happening around this day, okay? And I just want to say, don't lose hope or anything. It's just a karmic cycle, and everything passes, right? So I'm not saying it's a bad one, because actually it can bring you really good things, but sometimes we have to remove a block to create space for something new, right? Sometimes we have to cleanse something that is not working for you, and then we have to go through this difficult time to realize certain things, okay? So just to be aware that sometimes you have to go through the obstacles. Yeah, we have Venus in a square with Mars, and also in a square with Jupiter, okay? So this is a bit of a fight between passion, between love, between what is right. I want to fight for something, but the universe is holding me back because there's so many retrogrades. So there's a bit of push and pull energy, okay? If you don't hear an answer right away, I would say do nothing and wait for things to become clear. This is a fight against a wall, because when there's so many retrogrades, sometimes you cannot get everything done that you wish to be done, okay? And in some situations you cannot choose, I understand that. But if you can, I would take it easy and really take it one step at a time, okay? And the sun in Leo is in a trine with Chiron. same as Mercury retrograde. So you have a huge opportunity to heal any type of insecurity, any type of blockage for your self-expression that maybe can help you earn money. You need to remove those blocks, okay? So you can manifest and attract things to you. And soon we're gonna have we have eclipses coming up as well, which are usually a huge change for you, okay, which can change the energies a lot. Okay, let me see if I can start with the first. Did I discuss everything? I think I did. So let me move on to Aries. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. I think this phone is a bit shaky. I shouldn't touch the table, which is like with my laptop on it, and it's like shaking the mobile phone. Yeah. Here we go. So we've been having like a lot of visitors here, and I'm talking about neighbors' dogs. We already had also kinds of dogs going to the garden, because sometimes we leave the gates open and we have like dogs coming in, and they're super cute. We have a lot of cats. I think I'm gonna adopt a lot of cats here. This is gonna be hard, right? Yeah. No, the surrounding is really, really beautiful. And I'm working on the video to show you the house. I'm working on a video to show you the garden, because it's huge. It's 5,000 square meters. So this is just a little part of it. I don't know if you can see it. And there's mountains in the back. It's literally a little bit of a fairyland, and we are exploring the area and we're making videos so you can see what you could experience if you're here. And at the same time, we are also going to look for volunteers for our retreat. So if you would be interested in something like that, you can help us out with setting things up for just a few hours, and then you can participate in our retreats at least, right? So I think that would be interesting for people who maybe think it's a little too expensive to pay for a retreat. You can do it another way and volunteer, okay? Because yeah, we want to make it available for all kinds of people, but it is true that this place is a little bit luxurious. So we want to think about different ways where people can exchange in a different way than monies. Don't overthink this, but I mean volunteer in the garden, volunteer cleaning and stuff like this, okay? So you can still participate in the retreat or parts of the retreat. Anyways, Aries, sun, moon, and rising. So let's start with you for this full moon in Aquarius, which is happening on the last few degrees in your 11th house. So it's in its own house, and this is all about community. Okay, this is about community, and there is an element of unpredictability when it comes to money, because this full moon is in a square with Uranus in the second house, and Uranus is shaking up a little bit your income, okay? So sometimes you have money coming in, money going out. With Uranus, you don't know. But in order to strengthen Uranus in the second house, for example, you could work online, or you can do something scientific, or earn money with something out of the box, okay? For example, having a YouTube channel, or being an astrologer, or being a scientist, or doing something different from the rest of the world, okay? Or at least it's a rare thing that can help you. And then we have Mercury retrograde in the sun in the 5th house. And this is related to romantic partners. So there might be some miscommunication there. Or if you have some kind of karma with an ex-partner, you maybe still have some things to talk about between each other to round it up, or maybe to open up the possibility again to date each other, okay? But definitely anything karmic with a partner can or need to be resolved around this time. This could also relate to your children. So 5th house is related to kids, children. So there might be some miscommunications with them. or some miscommunication about money. Okay, so if you can resolve it later, I would wait a little bit. But if you have to bring it up, or it's being brought up because sometimes the universe is guiding you that way, just make sure that you listen and you speak and you think before you speak, because Mercury retrograde is a little bit awkward. That's why I mean, making videos with Mercury retrograde is also not the best time, but you know, it's also not the worst. You're thinking a little bit more about your words before you speak them, right? Venus is in your 6th house, and it's in an opposition with Saturn in the 12th house. So you have a huge opportunity right now to heal karmic patterns related to your health, related to your love life. And because Saturn is in the 12th house, this could be your subconscious patterns from this life or even past lives. Okay, so you could be doing some hypnosis with someone to work on that. You could be meditating, but definitely there can be a huge focus on breaking those patterns. Okay, and then Jupiter and Mars are in the 3rd house, so maybe you speak a little bit more than usual, or maybe you have these fiery conversations, okay, because Jupiter is expanding your communication, your thoughts. Make sure to write them down because your mind can like keep going, right? Mercury is a Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and this is good for communication. But when you have so many strong planets there, it can sometimes do the opposite, okay? It can make you a little restless. Okay, the eagle. I'm getting the eagle. So you need to have an overview, and when you have so many retrogrades, sometimes it's good to look back and have an overview of your life. Like, what would you like to change? So this is not the time to set like new actions. It's like, what have I done so far, and what can I optimize in a way? Triumph over troubles and obstacles. So sometimes going back and optimizing something can avoid obstacles in the future. Okay, and I don't know if some of you are into human design. I'm a manifesting generator, and if you're one as well, I'm a bit restless. Sometimes I don't really think about stuff, I just do it, and then later I have to go back because I forgot certain details, or I forgot certain things, or I don't finish some projects, right? And yeah, so if you're one as well, you might be feeling a bit restless, and yeah, it's a good idea to just go back and see what you've done so far. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. So maybe you are a little stubborn sometimes. I know Aries can be a little stubborn. Or this is someone around you that's being a little stubborn, okay? It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to make changes. It's hard to change. It's hard to make certain decisions. But if something is not working for a very long time, maybe you have to change your approach. Okay, so I'm feeling like if something keeps happening over and over and over, that's a sign that what you've been doing maybe needs a little bit of a different approach. Okay. And I've been in these patterns, trust me, and it was very, very, very difficult to break them. It took a lot out of me, a lot of courage and a lot of pain, and you know, but it did give me the space to ultimately make huge changes in my life, because I made the space to do that. And sometimes when you're in these patterns, you're more occupied with what's not working, and I've been doing that as well, right? Like, you focus on what is not working, and then you get the result of things not working repeating itself. So what can you do to break that? And sometimes you need some distance to break that cycle and to really get clear on what to do, right? I'm not saying walk away. Sometimes you need to, but sometimes you need some distance to revise something and make a certain decision. Someone is trying to become between you and a friend or something you want. Sometimes, right, people are trying to block something for you, they can never do that for a long term, okay? Unless you allow them to block you. So keep a distance from people that are trying to block certain things for you, and allow this space to happen. So a lot of you, I feel, need a bit of space for things to come to you, okay? So that's my message for you, my lovely Aries. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and yeah, I hope to hear from you and to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Taurus. So Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. For you, we have this full moon in Leo in your 4th house, and it's in, do I say this correctly? Yes, in the 4th house, and it's in opposition with the full moon in Aquarius in your 10th house, okay? I'm sorry, my brain is a little overwhelmed with so many changes, so many things to arrange, but I'm very, very happy that finally I have some time to make videos and I'm back on track, and I'm not gonna skip, at least I hope I'm not gonna skip any videos anymore. So Taurus, you have Jupiter and Mars in the 2nd house, okay? So you have a huge opportunity to earn money. And if you're not earning it yet, you're getting a lot of ideas on how to earn money. And this could be through one or multiple streams of income, okay? And this full moon in Aquarius is in the 10th house. So you are definitely working on your career, maybe even a new type of career, especially since a lot of you starting to have Pluto, or Pluto close to the midheaven, Pluto just in your 10th house. That really depends on the decan of your ascendant, okay? If you're in the early degree, so between around 0 and 5 degree Taurus rising, you have Pluto in the 10th house, depending on your birth chart, right? That's what I'm saying. This is a general reading. I cannot look in your chart if you have Pluto in the 10th house. This you have to check yourself, right? But for a lot of you, it's starting to become very close to the 10th house, and it will have a huge influence on your career. And if you're not on the right path, Pluto will definitely change your career and will grab you and say, okay, this is not suiting for you. We're going to take you to a different path. And Pluto is not like nice, right? It doesn't give you like a gentle little push. It will take everything below your feet, and it will say, okay, this is the right path for you. Okay, so I'm getting short journeys. So some of you are going to take a trip around the 19th of August, okay? And then I'm seeing a horse. So some of you Taurus are riding a horse, or you think about buying a horse. Do keep in mind, we do have Mercury retrograde at this time, that housing contracts, anything related to buying anything, make sure to read all the details very carefully. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? It's not like the end of the world. It's just that Mercury retrograde can overlook over things, okay? I know I'm looking at a lot of animal lovers. Looking at this card, I feel like there are a lot of animal lovers among you. Venus is in the 5th house, okay? And Venus in the 5th house is about relationships, it's about your kids, and it's in an opposition with Saturn in the 11th house. So maybe you feel like your friends are not accepting your partner or your new romantic partner, or you feel like your friends are, making comments about your kids, and this is something karmic, okay? So around the 19th, if your community or your friends are starting to make a little bit of comments about your partner, or about your kids, or about you, maybe about your hobby, saying, is that something you should do? Is that a good idea? Right? Some people are either giving advice from their own experience, which is very common, because when you have had a bad experience, you will give a different advice to someone who had a good experience, right? So this is why it's so important to listen to your own discernment, Okay, so like that's why a lot of channels, they say, oh, you're gonna get this type of money, or you're gonna get this type of man, and this is gonna create answers from outside of you. Okay, what I want is you to think about what I'm saying, but it's not gonna be like, oh, you know, you're going on a trip. No, maybe some of you are going on a trip. I'm keeping it open, possibilities, because this is the astrology, right? But you know, saying, oh, you're gonna get married this year, no, there's a chance to get married, because astrology is like the weather report, right? And if you're doing a reading with me one-on-one, yes, I can see more clearly also through my intuition where you're at spiritually, and if you're at the stage of receiving something, right? That's, for example, I get clients who are looking for love and they have the right astrology, but I'm feeling their heart is completely blocked and closed. How are you going to meet someone when you're not open to receive it, right? So yeah, anyways, enough about that. I want to give you another card. Warning of a problem either now or in the future, right? So this is like maybe people saying around you, like, is that a good idea? Is that something you should do? So really listen to yourself, because Mercury is in the 4th house, right? This is your root. This is your own grounding, and you have to go within. So sometimes maybe take some time to be at home, to be by yourself, and really reflect on the things that are going on in your life. Maybe you want to change some things in the house, but I would take it like make the ideas or change something that's already in the house. Okay, so that's my message for you, my lovely Taurus. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Gemini. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you have a lot of planets highlighting, or at least 2 huge planets highlighting your sign, right? You have Jupiter and Mars in the 1st house. So this is creating more energy. So you're going to have much more energy, but because your sign is ruled by Mercury, this is also a lot more thoughts, a lot more ideas. So do some sports, write down your ideas, and you know, you cannot do everything in one. You have to take it one step at a time, because otherwise you're gonna be overwhelmed with options, overwhelmed with too many ideas, okay? And this could be the downside of this placement. So take it slow. And if you feel overwhelmed with too many decisions, or you want to do too many things in a day, like we only have one motor, or at least, you know, we have one, you're one person, and you cannot split yourself into different type of people. And also we have so many retrogrades, and for you, Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Leo in the 3rd house, okay? And this full moon is in the 9th house for you, okay? So a lot of you are traveling, but there could be some delays or some miscommunication that could happen, or, you know, maybe you get lost on the road. Everything will be fine. It just takes a little bit more patience to get from A to Z, but nothing serious, nothing bad, right? It doesn't have to be very severe with Mercury retrograde. It can be absolutely fine, most of things. And it can also make you internalize and dream away on your holiday and really make the decisions that are good for you. If you are a very early degree Gemini, so Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're starting to have Uranus very, very close to the Sun, Moon, and Rising, to your Sun, Moon, and Rising, okay? And this will reflect into a bit of restlessness. I can't sit still. I don't know what to do. I have too many ideas, right? I want to go left. I want to go right. I want to go different places, and try to write everything down once again, because there's a lot of restless energy, especially if you have an early degree Sun, Moon, and Rising, okay? Saturn in the 10th house makes work a bit heavy, a little bit, maybe you have a lot of responsibilities, and Venus is now in opposition with Saturn. So there will be some karmic lessons that will be coming up that maybe could have to do, maybe your family is going to help you with work, or maybe there's a pattern in the family that has been happening over and over that now you are able to break. But there are things from your root, from the place where you live. Maybe you want to work from home and you can't work from home all the days, but there's something karmic with work that right now you can actually face and resolve around this day. Okay, so I always see stuff like that as positive. Maybe when you're in certain situations, it's hard to see the positive side, but it always ends up bringing something positive, something new, brings you to a new idea. Okay, so okay, slowly but surely getting ahead, right? We talk about this before, like some of you feel like it's going slow, it's not going fast enough, but one step at a time. Some people go really fast and they skip many things, and they have to go back and do it again. And the person who took it very slow, who thought about the details, they are surely actually getting there faster. Opportunity or windfall, right? So you're planting seeds with Jupiter in the first house so you can get where you want to be. Okay, with this full moon and with Pluto in the 9th house, maybe you're studying something new that's gonna help you get to the new place. And Pluto in the 9th house is making you a bit obsessive, right? Obsessive about your study. And because the 9th house is in Aquarius, some of you are even studying astrology, or you're studying something scientific or something out of the box, you know, something that is a little bit out of the ordinary, and you want to maybe ultimately make that your job. So plant the seeds, because your ideas might actually bring you money. Okay, you saw that beautiful butterfly just flew by. Okay, some of you are afraid. I'm getting wish not granted, but I feel more this is about some of you feeling like things haven't worked out in the past, so why would it work out now? Okay, so it's about trust and having trust that things will work out for the best always. Okay, and if it's not the road you thought you're gonna take, maybe you need to let it go for a moment so the universe can bring you to the right path. Okay, so that's my message for you. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time. So let's move on to Cancer. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 8th house, okay? And 8th house is all about transformation. This is about going into the depths, and not only this full moon is here, but also Pluto. So you are definitely taking off a lot of layers. Okay, you are diving deep into your own psyche, into your own system, right? Maybe you're starting to learn things about tarot or astrology or something like this to get into the depths of your soul. It could be also therapy, but you're taking down all the layers that are no longer working for you. Okay, and these have to do with repetitive cycles. You're ready to break them. And no matter what has to happen, you are willing to take the road that's gonna bring you the best transformation. So it's best to not really fight it, because Pluto will just help you, okay? And not in the easy way. So dare to dive into the depths, because Pluto is in its own house right now. And this is also reflecting to how you're feeling in a community, who is your community, and also related to your money. So money stuff could come up during this full moon. So your money management, maybe your money with your partner, and you know, anything that right now you're not happy with, maybe your income, you feel like you want to earn more. you're going to write down some ideas, okay? Because the retrograde times are really good for revising everything you've done. So you're going to revise the ways to earn money, okay? Then Venus in the third house is in an opposition with Saturn in the ninth. So you are definitely taking a look at your not only decision making, but also you're taking a look at your belief systems, and maybe even some of you are studying. Ooh, the wind is coming, blowing all my cards away. Okay, some of you are gotta be the fast track, okay, when these retrogrades are over, because the wind is definitely indicating that things are gonna go fast for you. So you're gonna have to just wait and see, because things can go really fast, very sudden, okay? But this is not the time. You're gonna go really fast when Jupiter is gonna hit your sign, okay? You will see things will start to open up for you. But right now you're working on your spirituality, your spiritual journey. You're discovering more about maybe belief systems, reading more about different belief systems. Maybe there is a bit of skepticism, right? Does it work? Does that work for me? But I think it's really good to read into different things and see what resonates most with you. And maybe you're taking bits and pieces from every single religion or belief system that are going to help you. So if you're traveling, there could be some little miscommunication happening during the trip, okay? Or a karmic situation might happen that are going to teach you something, okay? It doesn't have to be anything major, but Venus is in the third house and Saturn is in the ninth. So there could be a little bit of a delay, because Saturn does delay stuff. So it can delay your plane, can delay your trip just a little bit. Uranus is in a square with this full moon, and Uranus is in the 11th house. So money and your friends, or money if you're doing some workshops, just make sure that you indicate very well the prices. And you know, if you have your own business, indicate your prices well, because there might be some miscommunication happening with your prices and what people think how much it is. Oh, great. This is great. I love it, you know. I'm with my bare feet in the ground, all in nature, and my feet is full of flies and it's itching. You know, I love that. Oh, it's funny. Anyways, temporary situation I get for some of you. So if you think that the situation you're in is forever, it's not going to be forever. Things are going to pass, okay? I'm getting protected from negative forces beyond your control. So you're protected, even though when it doesn't seem that way, okay? But you are protected. And you can also always put a light of protection around yourself, and that's going to help also protect yourself from different energies, okay? So that's my message for you, my amazing Cancer. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you're waiting for things to go fast, it will go fast. Just, you know, now it's time for your spirituality and to remove the blocks that are making the space for things to go fast for you. So that's my message for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Let's move on to Leo. So Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. First of all, happy birthday to my lovely Leos who have their birthday around this full moon. You are going to suffer a little bit from Mercury retrograde around this time. So a bit of cloudiness, a little bit of things that maybe are unclear. But at the same time, this is a time for you to grow tremendously, especially when all the retrogrades are over. Things are going to go really fast for you because you have Jupiter and Mars in the 11th house. So there might be a lot of offers coming to you, but you feel like it's hard to, like, you want to go fast, but you can't. So it's like running against the wall. Okay, so take it one step at a time. The full moon is in your 7th house, okay, and it's squaring your 10th house. So if you are in a business partnership or you're in business with your partner, there might be a little bit of maybe disagreements or things that are still unclear that you need to talk about. This could be you suddenly meeting someone in the workplace. This could be very sudden, very exciting, but is this long lasting? That's the question. Because with Uranus, it's exciting, it's fun, but is it long lasting? Okay. And also with Pluto being now in the 7th house, especially if you're an early degree Leo rising or sun or moon, you're going to have Pluto in an opposition. So this means you're going to get a lot of projections from other people, or you're projecting things on other people, okay? And you have to find a midway, because what you see in others is something you're lacking in yourself somehow, okay? Or they're mirroring an aspect of you, and you have to figure that out. That's the puzzle that Pluto is going to give to you, so you can heal your relationships. You can heal, I would say your relationships, and mainly romantic, especially if you're Leo rising, it's even more romantic. Venus is in the 2nd house, and it's in an opposition with Saturn in the 8th. So there will be some money stuff coming up, okay? Some papers maybe that you need to do, insurance, governmental papers, or there's something with an inheritance that needs to be divided that maybe is a bit difficult. So this could come up around this time. But it's definitely a social time for you, okay? Get out and about, go out and about, have fun. Karma, you will reap what you have sown, okay? And this is very often when we have a karmic time like now with Saturn in Pisces, which rules the 12th house. And for you, it's in the 8th house, so you're breaking a lot of cycles with finances in your life. In general, there's a lot of cycles for you that you're breaking, a lot of past life karma, okay? So sometimes things that happen to you now, they come from you from a past life, okay? So you've been a good person all your life and you're getting all these difficult situations. So they say what you reap is what you sow. So what you can do is change now, do the best you can now, okay? We still make mistakes, but this will ultimately clear up your path and make things easier for you later in life, okay? And you have a massive opportunity to do that now. Look at that, August, your month. Birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. So some of you are starting your own business, or you're revising things from your business, or now you're starting to promote it, right? You're going to go out and about and you're going to tell people about it. And this is where you can get a lot of word of mouth or get like the attention of people that can get you to places, okay? So this is a good time for networking. And like I said, Mercury retrograde is not the end of the world. It's not like life is going to stop suddenly. It just makes communication a bit more difficult. But you can get a lot of attention. This could be from people you've met in the past that are going to contact you. This could be happening as well. Okay, so that's my message for you, my lovely Leos. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Virgo. So Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. I can't skip my video. Let me... Hello. My laptop is not skipping. Yeah, there we go. Yep, there we go. Okay, so Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 6th house, okay? So this has to do with your health. This has to do with your routines. And also, Pluto is in the 6th house, really bringing up things related to your health. So it's good to stick to a good diet. And with Pluto, you can experience some extremes, okay? And this full moon could potentially highlight this a little bit. And this could be a very strict diet and then letting go and then very strict diet and then letting go. Okay, this is what Pluto does. It wants you to experience the extremes, so ultimately you're gonna find the best way for you, which is the middle ground. Okay, Uranus is very, very, very close to the midheaven, especially for a lot of people who have a Virgo rising, and this could make huge changes in your career. And already with Jupiter and Mars in the 10th house, you have massive opportunity to, oh my god, these flies are itchy. I have flies in my legs that are making it very itchy. Anyways, back to the video. Focus. Yes, this is Jupiter Mars energy, okay? It's a bit restless, and the same with Uranus that is in a square with this full moon is a bit of a restless energy. Some of you might suddenly switch jobs or even decide to become a digital nomad or work remotely. You want a certain amount of freedom in your job, okay? But definitely this is the year for you to get massive new careers, to get a lot of clients, to get a lot of visibility. And I know right now it's Mercury retrograde, so it's not a time to launch something. This is a time to maybe revise what you've been doing. So when it's over, you can publish something if you haven't done already, and really put yourself out there. I know you Virgos don't like to be too much out and about, but really this is the time to prepare yourself to put yourself out there. And if you already have a YouTube channel, you can optimize it, or YouTube or social media or a company or whatever it is that you're doing, or you have a high level, whatever job you have, now is the time to optimize it and to make it better. Okay, so go back to what you've done so far and see what can be done in a more efficient and better way, so you can attract more clients, so you can have more visibility, or whatever the job is that you're doing, you can have a lot of success in it. So now is the time to get out there. We do have a bit of a karmic cycle happening right now in your relationships with Saturn in the 7th house. It's opposing Venus, okay? So you might be feeling a little bit down. If you're in a relationship, maybe right now it's a little bit more, it feels more like a business or very serious, or you're a bit distant from each other, and this is what Saturn can do, okay? It is either the planet of commitment, but it can be a bit cold, right? Or you're single and you're like, you know, I'm not going to settle anymore for someone that's not serious about me. So you're changing your mind about what it is that you want, okay? But so there's a lot of different energies, but especially your routines and your diet are important for all the things that you want to do, because you need a lot of energy to get stuff done, okay? Look at that, Virgo. A pad of money is ready, or is waiting for you to find it. It's waiting for you to find it, okay? So you do have a lot of brilliant ideas that could bring you a lot more money. Take care. Okay, there might be a bit of jealousy around you around this time, okay? They're thinking like, oh, Virgo got it all together, or maybe you're more out, maybe you're showing more of yourself to the world. And obviously, when you're showing you're doing well, that brings people admiration in some ways, and sometimes that brings a bit of jealousy as well, a bit of envy, right? That will always happen. Just make sure to have the right boundaries, okay? Because when you become more successful, more people want to be around you, more people want to be your friend, but this is the time where you need to focus on your business. And this is a mistake that I've made in the past, that I want to include everyone in this success, right? I want to bring everyone with me, but sometimes they took me down with them, right? Because I was focusing too much on their problems, fixing their issues. And I realized that everyone needs to get the freedom to resolve them themselves. So I give the advice, I'm the astrologer, or with friends, or you give the advice, but it's up to them what to do with it. And you cannot repeat the same thing over and over and over again, because it's going to take so much energy from you, right? Like, some people are ready to learn and others are not, and you have to respect that. Some people are not ready to change or not ready to take the next step, okay? Career. Look at this card. Career. Your career is rising. And trust me, I could have taken any card. Look, I'm getting these cards randomly from 200 cards, and I took career. So that's not the universe telling you that now is the time for your career, okay? So that's my message for you, my lovely Virgos. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Let's move on now to Libra. So Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope it's working right away. Before I had a little bit of a fight with my program, but it's working. So Libra, for you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 5th house, okay? And this is all have to do with your romantic life, with your children. This has to do with your creativity. And as you know, everything is in an opposition in your chart. That's why you have to balance the skills. You have to balance one thing with another thing, okay? So now with Pluto in the 5th house, there could be some extremes with relationship, with romantic partners. There could be some jealousy, and in some cases a third party situation has happened for you. But in the best way, Pluto can connect you, can really make you stronger together. And if you use it in the higher way, you can transform and become even closer than you were before, okay? So there could also potentially be a pregnancy or problems with pregnancy that right now you are willing to resolve. Love, deep affection, and caring. So now is the time to really reconnect with your heart. And it's funny because I took the card a little bit too early, and that's because Venus right now, cards are flying because of the wind. So Venus now is in your 12th house, and it's in opposition with Saturn in the 6th. So there will be some karmic lessons with your romantic life that you can heal right now, okay? You have Chiron in the 7th house, and you are healing your heart. You are healing what it is you feel that you deserve, okay? Have you maybe given too much to the wrong person? Maybe you have not given yourself enough love, okay? So you're finding the right balance between give and take. So you're healing a lot of things that maybe have bothered you in your heart, okay? And some of you even going to reconnect with old friends, because Mercury retrograde could reconnect you with an old friend. Just one of the things, because this full moon is in a square with Uranus, is to maybe not involve money or issues with money or papers with your friends, okay? Keep that separate. Don't get them too involved, because we have a square with Uranus, which is not going to be very helpful, okay? Same with the kids. Try to solve it with your partner or solve it by yourself, and not get too many people involved, because that's a lot of energies that are gonna mingle in the thing that you're doing, okay? Okay, dealings with a woman, June. Okay, so I feel like this is a group of friends with women. I'm getting quite some women and June. So it's almost like you're revising your friend group, okay? Are your friends true right now, or are there some friends that maybe you're doubting about, okay? But with Mercury retrograde, it's time to internalize, to reflect, and it's not maybe time to make decisions yet, okay? So just keep an eye, think about it, reflect on it, and then you can make a decision. Then Jupiter and Mars in the 9th house, a lot of you are traveling, and some of you are even like backpacking or traveling far away, or you're going to work online, doing like working as a digital nomad, or working even living abroad for a little while. Okay, these are all on the cards for you at this time. So that's my message for you, my amazing Libras. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 4th house. So last few degrees of the 4th house. And it's in a square with Uranus in the 7th house, okay? So this has a T-square with your partner, your house, and your living situation. So maybe you're working together with your partner and you're building something together, or being at home or taking care of the family and the work situation. You need to talk about it with your partner. How many hours are you going to stay at home, taking care of the kids, taking care of the dogs or the cats, or just taking care of the house and cleaning? Like, who's doing what? Okay. And yeah, it could be that you are in a relationship with someone that's a little unpredictable, because Uranus can be unpredictable. Okay, it can be making sudden decisions. Okay, being creating a bit of unpredictability, right? And Scorpio doesn't like that. It wants to control. It's like when things are going out of your fingers, you're like, oh, I don't like to have someone that's too unpredictable, right? That's why you're attracted most likely to a sign like Taurus, or a sign that is more stable. Because for you as a water sign, it's really hard to swing. As a fixed sign, it's hard to swing from one extreme to another, depending on your chart. You have Mercury retrograde in your 10th house together in conjunction with the Sun. And so it's a good time to really revise things in the job. What are you happy about? What do you want to add? What do you need? Okay. Gather everything before you launch something new, before you're applying for a new job. Just gather all the information, or see what you've done so far and write down, this I can improve, this can be done, the things to optimize, yeah, your work. Venus in the 11th house is in an opposition with Saturn in the 5th. And this has to do with the kids. So there might be some karmic situation where maybe your friends are not always that supportive, or they will support you with your kids or with your romantic partner. So you're going to feel the difference between your real friends maybe, and you're going to feel the difference with people that maybe not have the best at heart for you. Maybe there could be some jealousy, or maybe some wrong advice. And sometimes wrong advice is not meant badly. It's just people speaking from their own experience, giving advice from what they've experienced, okay? Seek out information that will help you, okay? And also, when it comes to, because Jupiter and Mars are now in the 8th house, so there's a lot of things going on with money, and you want to rearrange your money. There could be money coming in, some extra support from the government. You could be having really good collaborations around this time, okay? However, I am saying this, but it is a bit shaky around this full moon. So I would say wait a month. If you're already in a good collaboration, just keep going. There might be some miscommunication there, but overall this year, you could have some beneficial financial support or things that are going well for you. You might have met someone who has quite some money that can help you out. Doing something risky, taking a chance. So some of you are definitely going to take a chance. Look at this tiger. You're gonna, doing something risky. You're thinking about maybe taking a leap of faith into something. and you're feeling like it's almost time, right? It's almost time to do that. Just listen to your intuition. That's all I can say. Jupiter will move when it's in Cancer. Then it's time to travel. Then it's time to take bigger risks, right? But it could be a risk of investment, because 8th house is also about investment. Or maybe you found an investor that wants to invest in what you're doing. But like I said, because of Mercury retrograde and the retrogrades in general, there might be some little miscommunications happening. So make sure everything is clear. Temptation will test you. It's funny because I don't know if you can see it, but behind me I have apple trees, right? Yeah, temptation will test you. You could be maybe tested with, sometimes we're being tested with the wrong offers, right? We think that is it. This is the person, this is the offer, this is the job offer. And maybe that is not completely it yet. And your intuition is telling it. It is testing you before you meet the right person or before you meet the right job. Merit, right? So sometimes you need a little test before you actually take the next, before you meet the right person or before you get the right job. Okay? Some of you are getting married, okay? If you're getting married during retrogrades, I mean, don't worry too much, but make sure to get all the necessary information out there, especially regarding finances, because now it's time to talk about finances and all those things, okay? So that's my message for you, my lovely Scorpios. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 3rd house. Okay, so this is the house of traveling. So some of you are definitely going to travel. Just make sure you don't forget your laptop. There might be some sudden work happening for you. So maybe you're going away on a trip and you still have to do some work when you're on the road because of this full moon being in a square with Uranus in the 6th house. Okay. There is the sun at the last few degrees in the 9th house. So again, traveling, but there is Mercury retrograde. So there could be some delays or some miscommunication when it comes to organization of your holiday, of your trip. Just make sure you're well informed. And if it happens, you know, maybe you just have to be in the patient flow and wait for things to resolve if you can. Then it's also a time for some of you to study, studying something. Maybe you're reading more books. Maybe you're finishing a book that you started and you're like, finally, I have time now to finish this. Your favorite book or something that you started with or your study, and you're going to pick it up again so you can finish it. Saturn is in the 4th house, so there is a bit of karmic situation going on with the family. There could be some karmic situation with the house, and maybe it will cost a little bit more money. So you need to bring up ideas on how to work more, earn more, and maybe bring more visibility to your job so you can have more money. Okay, so yeah. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So some of you are thinking about huge changes, okay? But this is not a time to be like super impatient, because when you're very impatient, sometimes we're making decisions that are not fully beneficial for you, okay? Especially with a square with Uranus, there could be a bit of restlessness. And then you have Jupiter and Mars in the 7th house, okay? So a lot of you are in this period where you can meet someone new. Jupiter in the 7th house can bring the love of your life. This is definitely, if you're in the right place, right, in your own self, with your own self, if you are ready for it, the universe can bring it to you. Okay, so open your eyes, keep working on yourself, being your best version. And this is when, because when you love yourself, you can love others. And if you don't love yourself as much yet, right, you're attracted to people that are not good for you. Because if you truly love yourself, you want to attract someone that is matching that same energy. Okay, seeing neighbors are out there. So yeah, this is why you, right now, it's good to focus on living your best life, following your own passion, doing everything the best you can, so you can attract the person that you deserve. Okay, because this could be the year that you could be meeting someone, right? So yeah, that's my message for you, my lovely Sagittarius. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your second house. And second house has everything to do with your finances, your money. It has to do with, because it's in an opposition with the sun in your 8th house, this is also a good time to organize your insurance. It's time to organize I'm looking outside because I'm hearing some voices and I'm hearing people around me. They have horses next to us. They have horses and they have dogs and they have cats. It's really cute. We actually met the neighbors yesterday and they gave us a whole bucket of of fresh vegetables. So that was really, really amazing. Anyways, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I was talking about the finances and about your paperwork. Okay, so maybe you need to recheck your paperwork. You need to extend like certain ebonies or certain bills need to be paid. Okay, this sounds really boring, but maybe you need to look at some of your taxes or papers and just reorganize them and make sure that everything is in order, everything is paid for. With Pluto in the second house, you might experience some extremes in your money. You might lose money and then gain a lot of money. And with Pluto, you have a tendency to kind of hold on to the money because you're scared. You've seen it going, you see it coming in, and you're trying to hold on to what you have. But the best to work with this energy is to give, and be open to receive as well, right? Not being fully close to receiving money either. But any extreme is going to bring karmic situations that Pluto is going to enhance. Okay, Jupiter and Mars are in the 6th house, so it's a good time to do some workout. It's a good time, and it is in the sign of Gemini, which is all about the mind, which is all about the intellect. So you might have a lot of ideas for your work. Write them all down and do them one by one, because it's a restless energy and everything is in retrograde. So it's really in opposition. And it's just really difficult, right? Like you want to get things done now. You want to go to the gym, but then you're there and you're like, oh, now I want to do this, or now I want to do that. There's a bit of a restless energy. And this is also because this full moon is in a square with Uranus, right? And Uranus is unexpected. It's very much outgoing, out there. Yeah, so there is a bit of a restless energy going on. If you're into gambling, all these things, is a very unpredictable time. And I mean, you could do that and you could get sudden gains, but right now it's not super in your favor. Okay, now it's time to revise your work, to see how you can get more clients, to see how you can expand the job and to write down all the ideas that are gonna work for your benefit, okay? So involvement with the law, like I said, get all your papers in order, get all the stuff in order, right? So you are not getting involved into any court case or any papers or any delay. Just make sure that you double check everything that has been done. Climbing towards success. So bit by bit you are climbing towards success, okay? And definitely right now it's a time to expand. It's a time to see how you can put yourself on the market. But the 6th house is not necessarily doing something completely new. It's expanding what you're already doing. I've said expanding quite sometimes, but give me a break, because it's Mercury retrograde and it's definitely hard to talk for so long without cutting and without break. So I might be stuttering a little bit, but I'm doing the best I can, okay? Doing the best I can with the capabilities that I have. So Saturn is in the 3rd house and it's opposing Venus in the 9th. So some of you might be struggling with some study or with finishing a book. You might be writing something and it's just really hard to get it done, because Saturn wants you to be patient. It wants you to persevere and to get it done, but it will be a little bit more difficult than usual, than when you have, for example, Jupiter in the 3rd house, which is going to help you overcome all these things. And then plus we have Mercury retrograde not helping us out with communication. Okay, if you're traveling or you're going on a trip or you're buying a car or you're buying some kind of transport, there could be some obstacles, a little bit of a delay. And again, this is the karmic cycle for you to learn how to be patient, how to resolve things in peace and stay calm, which I know sometimes I don't do that myself. Because when even with arranging all the things in the house, oh my, this was not working and that was not working, and I was like, things are not working. And then I had to tell myself, Michelle, calm down, you can do this. So this is Saturn telling you, calm down, one step at a time. You're doing the best you can, and don't overforce things to happen, because with so many retrogrades there's not much to force right there, okay? My god, this card that I just pulled, it's crazy. Obstacles to overcome, right? So one step at a time, Capricorn, one step at a time. Doing something risky, taking a chance, seek out information that will help you. So you're thinking about taking a chance on something, and maybe you need to seek out information about papers, or maybe you need to seek out, like, how does that work? Like, how can I put that on the market, the house or the business, or you want to be on social media or stuff like this, right? How can I put that on the market in the right way? And you do have now, cards are flying. So again, we get to seek out information that will help you. So you need to do some research. Whatever it is that you're working on right now, it's time to do some research, okay? So funny, it's so quiet here. And every time I'm filming, last time there was a plane or a helicopter, and there are no helicopters here. And now we have social events happening here. Anyways. It's usually very quiet here, but it's funny. Anyways, what can I tell you more? This is a temporary situation, so I feel like do some research. One step at a time. You're doing what you can, and be patient, even though it's hard to, to overcome everything that you need to do, but you will get it done. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to change the energy so you can receive the right solution. Because when you're exhausted, you cannot solve situations. So the best is to rest and to do the best you can, okay? that's my message for you, my lovely Capricorns. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, this full moon puts you in the picture, okay? And we are in the time of Aquarius. We have a full moon in Aquarius. We have Pluto in Aquarius. And, you know, as you have seen in my video with my prediction for Pluto in Aquarius, you can see that I predicted many protests and that there will be a lot of protests happening with extremes, because Pluto is all about extremes, okay? And when Aquarius, your sign is about equality. It's about being equal, having equal rights, thinking out of the box, innovation. So what we have, extremes with, we're going to have extremes with AI. We're going to have extremes with protests. What is equality, right? How far are we going with what equality is? And then we have the other extreme. We're all divided. We're all different. But in this channel, everyone's welcome. We are all the same. We're all one. We are all souls in a body. And we don't, well, we kind of choose that before we come here. But, you know, I think our differences make us so beautiful. I think our belief systems make us so beautiful. And when we align with our heart, we don't damage each other. This is a very, you know, at least you're trying to do the best. Sometimes, unconsciously, you can harm someone. But if you know, and when you know it, you can apologize, right? So, anyways, Aquarius. Pluto is very prominent. We have this full moon in your sign, obviously in your first house or on your sun or moon, and this is highlighting for you your home situation. You might be feeling a bit restless on this day. You feel like you need to make a decision, but then Mercury retrograde is telling you not yet, or maybe you need to look at some details before making decisions. And you know, some of you are definitely going to be reconnecting with someone from the past. So this could be a past love. This could be maybe someone you're talking to that you need to resolve something with, so you make space for someone new, right? That could happen after the retrograde is over. So with Jupiter in the 5th house, it is about romance, it's about exploration, meeting people, and sometimes we are not ready to meet love because we haven't closed an old chapter. This person is subconsciously blocking you. And they don't do that on purpose. It's because very often we tend to hold on to someone that we thought would be the one, or that we thought could have been the one. Okay? But sometimes they either come back, or you're blocking someone new from coming in. And that's why sometimes I don't like the channels that say manifest your ex. Because what if something better is out there for you? Why do you need to manifest someone from the past that didn't work out for a reason, so you can bring that person back instead of being open, working on removing your blockages, and then attracting someone that is more suiting to you? Okay? And we all fell for this trap. We all been in lower situations in our lives, right? It's me, it's everyone, it's human nature to think that, to romanticize something from the past, right? Like, that was so great, that was so beautiful. And then you start to talk yourself into something that maybe isn't as good as you thought it was, but you need to re-experience it to make that decision, okay? That's totally up to you. Also, this could be the year that some of you are getting pregnant or expecting a child. If you don't want that, be careful. And also if you are pregnant, make sure to not overdo sports or not make too many sudden movements. Take it slow and easy, because it's a bit of a restless time. You might be into a lot of hobbies around this time, into a lot of having a lot of hobbies. And I know someone was watching my video and said I am not pointing out the placements, but I'm telling the story according to the planets, okay? Because we have Mercury retrograde conjunct Sun in the 7th house. opposition to the moon at 27 degrees. How boring is the story if I'm talking like this, right? And it's in a square with Uranus in the 4th house, and that's why I'm saying this. It's all related to the planets, all the stories, really. That's why I'm an intuitive astrologer. I want to make it easy for people, easy to understand, because not everyone is familiar with astrology terminology. And I do point out the planets, but sometimes I'm making a story a little bit, but it's a story that is part of the blueprint, which is part of the transits of the planets, right, that are impacting you. So because this retrograde in the 7th house is about ex-partners, we have Jupiter in the 5th house, which is about romantic partners, right? So, and then it's enhanced by Mars, and Mars and Jupiter are in a square with Venus. So is everything as good as it seems when it comes to this relationship, right? Anyways, then we have Saturn in an opposition with Venus in the 8th house. So this is about finances and revising your finances, right? Maybe you need to accept some help from people that can help you. Maybe you have to change your strategy of making money, or like make a different plan for savings. A wish is granted. So maybe you thought something was not possible for you, but you're gonna find out that maybe not everything is so impossible as you think it could be. Okay. Strong emotion, passionate love or hate. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes this intense, fiery love, passion, obsession is not always good for us, right? Especially when Pluto is in your side, it makes you more passionate, it makes you more curious for powerful people, right? And with Uranus there is this unexpected kind of flair to it, right? Some of you are suddenly moving for a partner, right? With this this full moon, or someone who suddenly is coming to your house, or someone is contacting you, and it messes up your stability, because the 4th house is about stability and Uranus is like shaking it up a little bit, right? So yeah, that's my message for you, my amazing Aquarius. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to speak to you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. I'm slowly getting the sun in my back now. I was hiding in the shade between the trees, but I need to find. Maybe I need to. When the weather is a bit better, I'm gonna sit in a different spot, because I also want to show you different places of the garden. But it's been so warm here, literally. It's been super warm, 30 something degrees, and we moved up north so we would have a bit cooler weather, but it's still very warm. So we brought the sunshine, apparently. And it's also August, so it's very warm in summer. In the winter it's gonna rain quite a bit here, and then we're gonna have this cozy house, so beautiful, with all these jacuzzis I'm gonna show you. And it's beautiful for cozy retreats in the winter with hot chocolate. It's gonna be amazing. Anyways, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aquarius in your 12th house. So you are reflecting, relaxing. Some of you have worked a little too much, done a bit too much, overworked yourself, and now it's time to meditate, it's time to reflect, it's time to relax. And I don't want to say it, but maybe just watch a movie and chill, sit down. And it's maybe not the best time to move very, very fast, okay? There might be some miscommunication for some of you in the job, because the Sun and Mercury retrograde are in the 6th house. This could have to do with your colleagues, and it's in a square with Uranus in the 3rd house. So there might be some miscommunication happening that is that is really blowing things up a little bit. So make sure to wait before you speak, before you say something you regret, okay? Because Uranus is unexpected and it can just come out suddenly, sudden words coming out of you that you're later like, oh, maybe shouldn't have said that. Saturn is in opposition with Venus, okay? So you are definitely being challenged right now with maybe loneliness or struggles in the relationship. Like, what is it that you think you need, right? Because Saturn is in the first house. So this is about your identity. What is it that you need in a relationship? And maybe that's something you need to reflect upon with your partner, something you need to talk about. Like, what is it that you need when it comes to feeling whole and complete and feeling happy? And if you don't talk with your partner about what it is that you need, it's really hard to grow. Okay, and this is for people who are in a relationship or who are reflecting on past relationships. Now is the time to reflect and see how you want to do things differently, and how you maybe don't want to forget about yourself or take the responsibility for other people, but be in a more balanced relationship that is going to be more long lasting. So you're going to think about things like that. Jupiter and Mars are in the 4th house. So this is all about your house, your home situation. Now we have Mercury retrograde. For most of the year, you will have a huge chance to sell a house, move. This could be a quite sudden move as well, especially if you're an early rising Pisces, early Pisces rising, because Uranus right now is very close to your 4th house cusp. So you could be like suddenly moving. Great. This is good fortune. Good fortune. So you're gonna have to overcome your obstacles, and then you can receive this good fortune coming to you. And this could have to do with your selling a house. It could have to do with you finding more grounding within yourself, finding happiness with your family, maybe even reconnecting with some family members. Good news. So sometimes good news is coming from unexpected sources, okay? Unexpected corners. Yeah, because there were maybe some troubles with someone around you that could have been promising you things that they couldn't fully fulfill. This could be being colleagues, because it could have been a partner, but right now you're like, okay, I'm being a little more cautious with what I'm agreeing to, what I'm going to invest myself into. Romance is in the air, success assured with good plans and hard work. So you are determined to overcome these patterns. So you are gonna, because Saturn in the 1st house is really helping you by struggles to come closer to yourself. So when you experience the obstacles, you are starting to be more grateful for certain things, or you start to realize some things I need to change because they're not working well as they are. Okay, so yeah, that's my message for you, my lovely Pisces. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.